Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and I'm back. Guess who's back? Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan is back. Guess who's back? Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Guess who's back? Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
Okay, we get
Guess
it.
who's
We get
back?
it.
Cornelius
Get it.
Patrick O'Sullivan. Dun, dun, dun.
Get it.
I don't know the rest of that song. Anyway, I was out sick last week, guys, and I had a bad old knockout. And I'm still quite ill. But I'm not giving up. I'm just the type of guy who's like, you know what? I nearly died last week. Such was my illness.
Lucky to have him.
So lucky to have me. I had a bad knockout, as I said, but I'm back here now, and you know, I want to say, first of all, I want to say a load of thank yous to the Patreons, because that was the only one I don't give a fiddler's fuck about doing the rest of you lads that aren't paying to listen to the podcast, right? You can
Makes sense, I guess.
do you know what I mean? But I did feel bad for the Patrons. They missed out on an episode. But they all got in contact. I got texts from all over the world, would you believe?
Yeah.
And from close to home as well. And saying, get well soon now, get well soon. And it was great. There's actually, I had one particular moment, right, last week, where comedy's full of highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
There you go now.
That's your proof.
Comedy's full of highs and lows, and I got what is known as a rejection letter last week.
Yeah.
Right, got a rejection for something that I applied to do in comedy, and I was just like, yeah, look, it was for a festival. It's like, yeah, you were here last year, great, but we want to mix it up next year, and besides the headliners, I'm mixing it up with the rest of the comedians. And I was like, fuck you, I'm a headliner, you motherfucker. But made me feel like a piece of shit, like a small piece of shit. But then
Just a little pebble.
just a little drop of poo. I felt like a drop of poo. But almost, I'd say within a minute of getting that email,
Yeah.
I got a text from my uncle in Texas to say, get well soon, come back, your fans need you. And even though there's like 38 patrons,
They needed you, Con.
I still was like, do you know what? At least I've got 38 people. But back now this week, and I'm joined by my very, very special
In case
guest.
you haven't guessed, on those of you who are listening, it's me.
And if you're tuning in for the first time, they don't know who me is. And that me is the queen of my heart, the love of my life, the beautiful, delectable, delicious, and downright saucy Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the Queen. Welcome to the stage, and the crowd go wild. Da, 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 da. How are you?
How am I? I'm good. I'm great on this bank holiday Monday evening as we sit in our sitting room.
The kids have gone down.
Yeah.
10 green bottles is how I put the two boys down, and I came downstairs and I said to Hunter, be up soon.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes of me saying that, he was up, and I knew what would send him off. 10 green bottles. By the time we were down to 3, he was snoring.
Was he?
He was
Oh,
snoring.
bless.
But there was light coming into their bedroom, so I still continued to do the singing, and I just was trying to get rid of that light, natural daylight. It's very hard to go to bed.
But he wants a light on in the bed anyway.
Oh, he has
because his night light is gone.
He has the artificial. I have the artificial light working for him.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're gone down, and here we are on the couch, just fucking getting through it, guys. This is what life is about, getting through it. And
I actually feel really good for the Monday evening after a bank holiday weekend in which I went out. Do you know, like, got the shop done, ready to go for the week now? Yeah, happy enough.
Yeah, I am not in the same space.
No, we're definitely on different platforms at the moment, different levels, which is okay.
Well, I'm just under I'm actually set up for the week in work wise. As I said to you today, totally set up for the week. I need to fucking get rid of whatever I have in me now, because it's like, it's holding me back. So I'm going to see how I am. I haven't had any antibiotic or anything like that. And last week, to be fair now, like, we tried everything. Like, we were fucking juicing hardcore. We were like,
you've been juicing for months, and it has definitely stood to you. And even last week, like, you still, like, you had 1 or 2 juices every day last week.
Yeah.
And you didn't need the antibiotic. You didn't miss work. Sorry, Patreons. Like, you count it as work too, but like, we could leave you off for a week. But you didn't miss any gig. You had 4 gigs. Like, you had a really busy week. Like,
I was all over the place last week.
Yeah. Where were you again?
Everywhere,
but where?
So it was unbelievable. One of the most unbelievably busy in terms of distance weeks that I've had since the start of the year. And also then the last gig I had was a gig that I was just dreading doing, because it was a local gig here. It was over in Glanworth, Glanfest, and I just knew there was going to be lots of local people, and I knew the conditions for the gig weren't going to be ideal. I partly guessed it was going to be outside, all this kind of stuff. But we started on Thursday in Adair with in the Adair Manor House.
No, the Woodlands.
Woodlands, is it?
Yeah.
And that was class. And then the next day then I had to go to Port Rush, which is up in Antrim, right up by the Giant's Causeway.
Oh, yeah.
So I drove as far as Dundalk, left my car at the Spirit store in Dundalk, and Chris met me in Dundalk, and we drove the rest of the way then from there up. He drove up to the Playhouse.
So how far away is that then? Like, so you drove to Dundalk?
To drive to Dundalk was like a 3-hour drive.
Right.
And then to get up to Port Rush, I think it was 2.5 hours then, or maybe 3 hours again. And then we got up and we had an apartment up there, and the gig now was cool. It was in a place called the Playhouse, which is a reimagined live venue now. It used to be a cinema. So it was really cool. Really cool, yeah. And yeah, did that, and then the next day, then I went to the Giants. Like, Chris was mad to do stuff. Like, I was dying sick, but I just like you had to. I was just like, I'm just going to go ahead.
Do it anyway.
I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Like, we got stuff like, so we did.
But I suppose that's one way that, like, there's a lot of similarities between our family and Chris's family, and there's also differences.
Yeah.
And one of the differences
is
the Giant's Causeway on, in between your 2 gigs. Like, that's not you.
And you'd imagine like the Giants. Now, it was great, and I'd been there before with I used to go with this girl from Canada, kind of.
Sorry, what the fuck?
Yeah, might text her back now and let her know that I was up there again the weekend. But I remember I went on.
What you think of her?
Well, I was talking non-stop about her all weekend. Siobhan, if you're out there, get in contact.
Don't remember hearing about her.
Chev dog.
That sounds rude. Oh.
Bollocks. All right, okay. I'll
leave it go.
That's Hunter. I better go up to him. Yeah, right. Okay, we're back again. I think I was talking about
Shiv dog.
An ex-lover of mine. That was the last time I was above in the Giant's Causeway. I was on a romantic weekend away /30. So it was different this time around because I was with Chris, so there was no sex. And
did you try it on?
No, he didn't. And I was like wearing all my fucking low hung tops and everything, like, so, you know, we'll see. The tour isn't over yet. But yeah, so we went to the Giant's Causeway, and it was actually cool. Now I was delighted. I went. I was actually really delighted, and we were having a laugh because we were just taking the piss out of everything and everybody. It's kind of shit looking, isn't it, and all this kind of stuff. And so then I thought that was the end of it. But then he wanted to go to that bridge, you know, that bridge that you have to walk across, the rope bridge, which is another 15 minutes and more money as well. Like, it was like 15 quid to walk on this bridge, like, and We did, and do you know what? I was actually delighted we did that as
Yeah,
well,
I
because that
know.
was actually really cool as well, and I hadn't done that the last time. And again, we were having a laugh, taking the piss out of people up there, you know, mimicking people and just having a crack, like. And then I came down to the Spirit store then on the we came down to the Spirit store on the Sunday. I did that gig
Saturday.
on the Saturday, yeah. I did that gig. I was off stage at 9 o'clock. I was in the car at, I'd say, 2 minutes past 9. And I was down here from maybe 20 past 12,
Right.
half 12, into bed. And then with the thought of having to do the Glanworth gig the next day, which I was not enamoured about. But besides that, I woke up the next morning and there was more important things at hand. And they were the Blitz. You played your first football Blitz this weekend.
We haven't even properly talked about it because...
Talk about it there. Tell people about it. Tell them what it is.
So, as any, what you call them, regular listeners, I guess,
Regular listeners to the podcast.
know that I joined Mothers and Others. So I joined Mothers and Others I think we've had about 5 training sessions. Every week there's a different ailment by me. The knees hurt one week, the calves, the quad, something in the lower body region hurts after football training.
And when I came home, I remember hopping into the bed, and I was like, "You all excited for Mothers and Others?" And you were like, "I don't know if I'll be able. I think I have an injury."
I think I hurt my so the training session last Wednesday was grand, wasn't too heavy, was fine on Thursday, no injuries, grand. But of course, I went gardening on Saturday, and I was like doing the gardening, knowing I was like, why am I doing this? I could be stiff after it. But I had fixed our new strimmers, which cost a fortune.
I love the word strimmers.
Why?
It's just a satisfying word to say. Strimmers. It's just
Does it remind you of strippers?
Oh.
Is there a natural...
I have to say, no, the thought never occurred to me.
Is there
stripper. But I don't like the word strippers. But I do like the word strimmers.
I think maybe is it because it does what it sounds like?
Onomatopoeic.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it is onomatopoeic. It is. Strimmers.
Will I just keep adding?
Strimmers. Strimmers. I do like the strimmers. Sorry.
Anyway,
sorry for the digression. You were doing a bit of strimming.
Strimming and a little bit of weeding and stuff like that.
And the garden now isn't a euphemism for...
No, I genuinely was out at the bush.
What the fuck?
But I did. So then I woke Sunday morning. It was like, I think it was a combination of leaving cert morning and maybe going on a school tour. It's good kind of...
Fuck it. I've been hearing non-stop about this Mothers and Others for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It is like... Do you know when I was training Ballyclaw and I was the manager and it was non-stop? It was like intense.
Phone calls. There's no phone calls about it.
Yeah, because the WhatsApp is on the go. There was no WhatsApp really when I was doing the thing. You're on the WhatsApps and like that WhatsApp is pinging. I've never seen you on the WhatsApp as much. But anyway, it's
so match day
came.
And my back was killing me.
She had an injury.
I had an injury.
A potential injury.
I was like, am I really good? It's going to be day 1 of the match now and I'm injured for it. And I was like, if I don't go to this match, that could be the end of me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm like a pendulum.
She's been training all year. You've been running
training all year.
All year for it. First game of first round of the championship. Here she is. She wakes up with an injury. Now, what would you do, guys? Right? I get a lot of stick for... you know, my habitual cannabis habit. Okay, I get a lot of stick for it. I take a lot of slack from it
when I get high.
You know, but I hold my hands up high and I say, look, it's for my anxiety and it's for my general well-being. Okay, but I'd never abuse it or I'd never use it, you know, to gain an edge. Anyway, what you do?
I might have had some something.
Oxycontin.
I don't know what it is. They're painkillers anyway that we had, and they're from 2018.
Out of date Oxycontin. Get an extra little bit of a kick off it.
I think you got them probably at one stage for your gout or something. or knee operation or
It's me, is
something.
it? Oh,
Yeah,
alright.
but you didn't use them.
Yeah.
And they've been
Because
in
I
the
wouldn't
press.
use them. There's no way I'd put myself in under that.
So I had 2 of
circumstance.
those.
And did it just clear it up?
Yeah. But I didn't feel, I wasn't,
Yeah.
there was nothing else other than
That's how it
clearing
happened.
the...
Do you remember we watched that
But
documentary?
what happens is, today is if I took them today, but I was saying to you, it would be a hilarious, real, like, sketch if you had, like, you know, like, normally it's like a high school jock that gets an and starts getting hooked on oxy. Whereas
But now it's a
his
mothers and
mother-
others. It'd be fucking hilarious if it was on something funnier than Oxycontin, like Disprin or something like that.
Yeah,
You
she's
know.
hooked on the
She's hooked on the Disprin. Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
almighty,
yeah.
14 Disprin a day.
between the knees and the
Yeah.
that would be yeah.
Disprin might be
But-
funnier.
so I took the tablets.
Oxy. Well, let's just call it Oxy. Let's call it what it is.
Oxy.
Yeah, you took
And
your Oxy, whatever.
I was
That's
like,
illegal, but whatever. Grant.
Is it? It's not. Sure, it's a prescription drug.
Well, on the streets, it's illegal. You know.
Wasn't you?
I mean, you'll be looking for it on the streets soon enough. Now,
She said I'll be outside.
first it's for your back.
I'll be outside.
Next time it's for your crack.
I'll be outside the cross now, prostituting myself
Down by Ray's Cross with a fucking little mini skirt going.
with my with my GA shorts on, trying to get my score.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
But
I'd be your pimp then, like smoking J's at the side of the road, trying to do deals.
and we've got the layway in. They could easily drive in.
I mean, this place is
Made
fucking.
for it.
This place is made for it, exactly.
But anyway, so I had the drugs in
Okay.
and was like, I'm alright for this. So then I was packing my bag. Had to redo my Gumsheild, like reset it or whatever, because I had worn it and was fucking gawking. We all know the gawk if you put something in your mouth. But
When you put something big in your mouth, yeah, go on, yeah, you're right.
or small, whichever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that Gumshield is huge, you know. But go on anyway.
but anyway, so then I was packing my bag and I had my boots in, I had water, contacts, spare knickers.
Important. Like, I mean, I'd always, to be fair, I'd always bring a spare underpants with me if I was playing a match.
you? Oh,
I
very
would.
good.
So why wouldn't you bring a
Yeah.
spare knickers?
Yeah. So
Did you have a spare bra?
no.
Why not? But did the bra not get all soaked from the lads hopping around the place? Would it not?
No. What do you think is in the dugout with guys stripping up, changing the brass? But anyway.
Oh yeah, but like but G didn't know that that's where you were going to be togging out. She could have been thinking, oh, we're going to get a dressing.
No. I knew for blitz. But anyway, so the nerves were high. There was a nerve, and we got there, and it's like so funny because you still have kind of the kids with you, obviously, like for this particular match because it was a festival day as well, and it was the first match. Like,
So just to put it in context, right, the gig that I was dreading was in Glanworth. It was at a festival called Glanfest, and this Blitz was on in Glanworth as a part of the festival.
So
We
it's
both
funny,
were performing
yeah.
at Glanfest.
yeah, we both acts
know?
in the we were definitely the clowns at it.
And but we got there at, what time was it on?
12, we were
12.
there for 12.
And it was like a carnival, and I swear it was set up to just extract money off you. Like, because especially if you'd small kids, and I was minding the boys, and they were just running around the place trying to fucking play hook the duck.
But that inside area was good, like where the matches were on, like that area, that family area was good.
It was, don't get me wrong, no, it was a brilliant festival.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not knocking it. I'm not, like, I mean, it was a kid's paradise,
Yeah.
but a parent's nightmare.
And especially when you're there on your own and
When
you
you're
want to
minding them.
match and you want to do something, like
Yeah.
they were just going to be and it was very funny because there was so much on the team. We obviously weren't all on the pitch at the same time, but there'd be kids coming over to the mothers, like, and it would be like, oh, for fuck's sake, what fucking piece of shit toy is there?
What did your father get you
What's
there
your
now?
father get you? And it was literally
Harvey got 3 different toys. He got me to buy him, like, I was like, yeah, okay, go on, yeah, okay. Like, I was so weak. I was just like, shut up, come on,
Yeah.
go on, take it. Because I wanted to see you playing.
yeah.
But you got there anyway. We got there. I was in charge of minding the boys. And then you
Join my crew.
joined the crew, right? Like, I'll just say, minding the boys was really hard. I'm brilliant. I did a great job. End of story with that. But let's talk about your day.
Oh yeah, so I forgot as well. In the morning, there was like banter on the WhatsApp of, like of people, being nervous or thinking like the Unbelievables with one of the sketches went in. And then one of our reels went into the WhatsApp group. I was like, oh my God, I've been found out here. Do you know, I was like...
Did people actually think then, did people ask you about the podcast then, or did they say, it's like, is that your podcast, or like, what was the crack? Like,
there was 3 different kind of scenarios. There was the person who put it in, never realised I was in it. Didn't realise it was me, because there's only a tiny clip of me in that sketch, in that reel. There's only, like, literally one clip to me. That goes back to you then. So didn't realise I was in it. Another person thought that I had photoshopped myself into it. Which, maybe I could have. And then the other one was like, how are you connected to that comedian? And like, or I presume some people knew we were. But that was the reaction that I got after but I was like, oh my God, that was in my head as well, that they're like, because then they were like, is that what did he do a reel on that, like did he do a sketch on
Mothers and Others?
And I was like, no, that's our podcast, whatever. Blah, blah. So I got into the kind of conversation of that. But that was kind of like, I couldn't believe that had happened on the day of the match as well, like, because up to that point we've had a bit of banter, but like
a bit of banter.
We're only getting to know each other. We barely know it genuinely.
Fuck it, we know each other ages.
Jeez,
I know you 12 or 14 years.
12.
Oh, sorry. The girls.
My girls. So
Colleen Das.
We're still genuinely learning each other's names. Like,
it was class. There was 4 teams there. It was a blitz, 2 small pitches.
There was about 8 teams, I think.
Well,
was it only 4?
I think there was only 4. There was only 4. Maybe there was
6.
4. You only played each other twice, like. Everyone played each other once.
We only played 2 games, yeah.
But anyway, 4 or 6, you only played 2 games anyway, irrespectively.
But we were off. There was a break while we were playing. There was another match on after we finished our first match before our second match. And there was 2 pitches. Right. That means, but anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't.
We didn't win any of them anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but like, we were watching, and I was mad to get the boys to watch, but they weren't, just not interested. Hunter was a small bit interested.
But Harvey, see, the thing with Harvey said to me, that was great to watch you play, Mom.
He did watch a couple of seconds.
Yeah, but that's his attention span. That's it. In his head, he watched me play the match.
Yeah.
Like,
Hunter watched a small bit, but I was watching you warm up, and you were fucking getting. Do you know what? It was like there was a buzz.
Yeah.
There was a buzz, a real buzz on the sideline. All the husbands were there, kind of nervously minding,
not having a clue what they were about to watch.
It's
also
like,
trying to mind the children.
To be like you going to a match years ago, like, and going, and who's that there now, corner forward, and who's that there, corner? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what we were like, and who's that girl there now? Because we don't know any of the players, like.
But
then I knew one or two, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, she's a dinger. Fuck it, she's very good. Jesus Christ.
And then looking for the husband.
The husband, yeah. Number 14 inside is a dinger. Yeah. There's a couple of you now are very good, I have to say now. And
sure, there's some players. There's some actual really good players that have played up till recently enough.
Yeah.
And some.
But tell me, what was it like then? So you were doing the warm up. Tell me about the warm up. What was the warm up like?
It was good. Cause
anytime I looked over, you were fucking giving it all this, like. Giving it large inside the group.
That's what I'm there for. Fuck it. That's what I'd be saying. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, lads. Come on. Be a bit of crack in me. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
dead right.
Fuck it, fuck it, fuck them, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that.
Fuck them, and it doesn't matter.
And then the laugh was about the jerseys. Like, because I had said to you, the jerseys are probably going to be too small. Like, realistically, I've spent my life going to stuff. And
you tried to buy a jersey last week.
Tried to buy a jersey. Thank God, in a way, it wouldn't have been here on time, because I'd ordered the wrong size and you can't return them. And B, turns out we had the men's jerseys. But in a way, having the men's jerseys was nearly worse because it was still too small.
No, I thought you looked grand. I did,
but
honestly.
Well, up close then it was like a crop top, as I called it. But I didn't really care. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And that's what we were saying. Like, I was talking to somebody, and I can't remember who it was, and they were like, I'm a bit nervous.
Is he awake again there now?
Oh, he is.
Okay. Pause this again there now. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys.
It's still the same thing because I'll have to still find this moment.
Will you?
I want to.
Well, we're on it here now anyway. We're on it. Hunter woke up there for the second time. He was having a nightmare upstairs. He's afraid of the wall.
This wall is pretty scary.
He said, so now the light is on in the bedroom. And he said, I just don't like having walls in my bedroom. I just want to get rid of the walls out of my bedroom. And I was like, but we need walls, Hunter. They keep the house up. Yeah, but just not in my bedroom.
So is he in his own bed still?
He's still in his own bed. Just
Okay.
trying to keep him out of our bed. But anyway, back to life.
So this is
Back to reality. Back to life.
Ace to base or whoever it is. I don't know.
Ace of
No,
Base?
I don't know
think
why
so.
I said it was Ace to base. You
The
just
warm
remind
up.
the warm up. So we were all excited and nervous at the same time. Oh yeah, someone said to me, I'm just a bit nervous about being shit and the kids are there and and I
Yeah.
said, but you know what? Once we let it show that it doesn't matter, that we're enjoying it, aren't we showing them as much by that as if we're brilliant? Like,
Yeah.
you're showing them that we're enjoying it and we're doing it anyway and it
it's for
doesn't
fun.
matter.
And
Yeah.
it's for health. It's for movement.
Yeah.
I think it's an unbelievable initiative.
Yeah,
I honestly do. Like,
Yeah.
and I think anybody who was there, like, once the blitz started, like, fucking hell, I was all in. Like, I was
Yeah.
all in. And like, the Killavullen line were like, we were vocal. We were fucking
You
vocal.
see, we had the biggest number.
Yeah.
If you looked around, but which kind of is indicative of how it goes a bit. They say that like we had 20 something on altogether, and there was
And 3 girls who were very good were missing as well.
a few missing.
And they're very good as well. So you're in with the right chance. You've got a good paddle.
Like they say that as you get a bit more serious, it knocks out some. If you get too serious, it can knock out some of the people.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what was wanted. It because it was such a laugh that is the idea that it seems that that's the way we want to continue. But because there were so many, there was a big sideline crew, and like we were cheering if somebody caught the ball, like genuine. So that's where we're at. And that's
Well, you're just like
so
your
raw.
mothers and others. You're basically like, ladies in your 30s and 40s and maybe 50s, I'm not sure, but definitely 30s and 40s who haven't played, like you haven't played since how old were you?
about 10 or 11 or 12.
Under 12.
And even then was not
Yeah.
like
So like,
I never played outfield. I never.
and you were, no, she was good. You were good. You were very good. I really thought you were good now. In full forward your position. You're a fine, strong girl. You get the ball into your hand. Elbow in the bitches off with the fucking elbow.
I didn't elbow, did I?
Well, you were out high with the elbow a few times, and I thought it was warranted, especially against Grenagh.
Grenagh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the first game they were playing a Limerick side, and
Was it?
they were West Limerick. Yeah.
Oh.
And well, that's what they were saying on the line anyway.
Well, they.
you know?
You got it all. Well, you see, they were us last year.
Yeah.
You know that they don't.
And they were
understand.
okay. They were okay. They like you. Look, you call a spade a spade. You were very new.
Oh,
Not-
very
not-
new. Sure,
Not
jeez.
great, but like at the same time, loads and loads of potential, and you were just kind of finding your way.
Yeah.
And the first crowd you played, Jesus, honestly, fucking, I'd say if you met them again at the end of the summer, you
They
give them
were
a
our
right
second
game.
match. If they were our second match,
Yeah.
we might have because even by the second match, even though we were being annihilated, we were actually doing something.
But I thought she still played well in parts in the second half. I thought she played well, but it was
yeah.
the crack though. It was the
Oh,
crack
the crack.
and
Oh,
the
sure.
roaring at the fucking ref and you were just bringing on subs and taking off subs.
What about you? Remember when one of the women, like, there was no 45s,
Yeah.
and she was standing her ground that she had a 45.
Mm.
Why isn't there 45s? Like, we were down 1,000,000 pints, and she was going over shouting over to it. Why is it a 45? Why isn't there 45s in it? And she's a short woman, but she's so fiery. It's so funny. She's brilliant.
Dead right. Why isn't there 45? Give
yeah.
them a 45.
Like, but it was the laugh and then the disallowed goal.
That was rightly disallowed, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
And you were I was like, oh my god, you were giving GBH to the ref. Like
I
what
wasn't. I was asking, what did I do wrong? I genuinely was asking to learn what did I do wrong.
He wasn't he didn't like it.
No, he was grand.
No, from this, look, listen,
was
I'm
fine.
looking at the I have photographs to the contrary, okay?
But the laugh there was that the coach on the other team was like, no goal.
Yeah.
So explain why there was no goal.
Well, I can't even remember now. I can't remember. I think there was a foul. There was a foul. Ye fouled a girl.
No, it was me. I was on the ground and I held the ball on the ground.
The ball on the ground? Yeah. As I said, I can't.
And I was like,
it was a legitimate, but it was a legit.
100%. It was a legitimate.
It was a legitimate
no
free.
goal.
Ye played on. You assisted. It was.
I hand passed it.
That's the assist.
And a goal was scored.
That's an assist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You mightn't have scored, but you got an assist.
Yeah, but
no,
then
it was disallowed.
Disallowed because I'd caused the free.
Because you had done, like, it was a technical foul, is what it was called.
Technical foul, yeah. So I had technical foul. But the thing was,
the sideline erupted. Oh my
God!
God!
We knew it was gone.
Yeah.
That's
you turned around to the crowd and went, "Fuck it" or something.
Fuck him! Yes. Even though we knew it was this loud, and even though the ref kept blowing, we were like, "Yeah!"
And the whole side of the pitch were like, "On the goals, on the goals!"
Come on, get him on it. Even though
the score at this stage now was about 7-12 to no score.
No score by us.
But we did get a score in the first game, a lovely, very lovely score from a free.
Yeah.
And like, I have to say now, I think there's great potential there. But anyway, the match ended. The two games ended. Let's just have one little quick word about Grenada the second. And like, Grenada, if you're watching this, okay, we're fucking coming for you now, okay? With your let's fucking shove it down their throats attitude. We all have to start somewhere, right? And this Bjor here is going to play for Cork before the... and we're going to have a bevy of... We're going to put together a team that's going to match you woman for woman. We'll see you next year at the Blitz.
See you next year at Glanfest.
Glanfest, the rematch, part 2.
2025.
We're taking it away too seriously.
Wait! But that's what
my
I'm saying.
God.
The disallowed goal and the trainer going,
he was like
no
Davy
goal.
Fitz, like.
Oh, no goal.
No fucking goal, ref. No fucking goal. It's a fucking no. Fuck off.
So that just drove us all even more light.
Stupid fucking...
Easy now, Con.
Yeah, well, look, listen, Darren, and my sister's from there, you know? Where was she?
She's
Why
left
wasn't she togged out?
Yeah, come on.
You know? Imagine if Leona was togged out against you. Oh my fucking God. It would be hilarious.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But it's so cool. It's so cool because, like, our full forward line at the start of the second half, Noel was in full forward, and Carol is from Donegal, one of the publicans over. Kerry and Donegal, two of the fucking greatest teams in the modern era of Gaelic football.
Also,
I mean,
they produced myself.
If we don't have a base to work on, lads, I don't know where we're coming from. But anyway, the game finished. We all got photographs. We all got we were getting the boys packed up into the car, and we were taking home our neighbours, young fella as well. And then something magical happened.
So it's probably up there, one of the highlights of the day, I'd say.
Something absolutely,
first time ever.
Go on, say it.
The neighbour offered to take our two boys home with her. So in like an amazing turn of events.
We were about to do a good deed.
For just the
but
kids
they
standing
doubled
out.
it back
Took
with an
ours.
even better deed. I'm just not going to give their names because, maybe they want a bit of privacy. But they knew who they are.
They took our two boys back to their house.
Yeah.
For hours.
And which is great because I just lay on this couch because I was doing that Glanfest gig later on. I was doing this comedy gig later on. And I was just so...
And you were on date, like your that day, like normally a Saturday.
I'd been on the Giants Causeway the day before. I'd been on a fucking footbridge between an island and the mainland the day before.
Yeah, and then you'd minded the kids. It was under normal circumstances, there was no way you would have been at Glanfest with the boys.
No.
And minding the boys. You would.
No, I wouldn't have missed your match for all the tea in China.
No, but you know what I mean is if I wasn't playing, there's no way I'd have been at home and you'd have said, I'm off to the Glanfest there with the two lads. Like, no way. Never mind on a day where you have another gig after being away at gigs all week. It's in the middle of your work week, basically. And so, but then, because I wasn't going to be able to go out later on, I had arranged to go for a few drinks with an early few drinks with a couple of the girls. Like I had said, anyone who can come early, can go sneak in a few.
So you went for a couple of drinks. I went for a snooze.
We were the happiest we could have been as a couple.
It was so amazing. It was so amazing. I had a quiet couch and a quiet house to try and recuperate. You went out, had a few drinks. You came back at 5:30. We were ships in the night.
You left straight away then.
I went to collect Dan, who's my support act. He was opening for me. I was doing my full show there, you see. And we went out to the gig, and something even cooler happened. It ended up being unbelievable. It ended up being a great gig. We were up on a stage, a proper kind of a trailer kind of, you know, those truck trailer stages. And Monday were on after us, so I got to see a bit of Monday doing their warm up and stuff like that. Dan went on first. I'd say there was about 150, 200 people there for a finish, like, you know, really it was.
And was there people coming as you were in the set? How did that go? Like, because normally that was one of the things that was kind of you were apprehensive of, because there was going to be another act coming on, and that can be really disruptive.
So conditions weren't ideal, all right, to be fair, but at the same time, I was talking to the organiser at the start. I said, look, listen, we can't really do it unless people are sitting down watching it. And he's like, I'll sort that. And he got most of the people to sit up, bring the chairs out in front of the stage. And to be fair, there was at least 100 people sitting, 150
watching,
people.
Yeah.
Then all the bar was watching, and there was crowds to both left and right. As the set went on, more and more people were coming in, and there was a bit of a hum at the back.
It was far enough away.
It was far away, but there was also enough people watching and enjoying it and engaging with it that I was able to focus my attention on just giving them as good a show as I possibly could. And that finished, all right, got paid, delighted, because I was dreading it for a few reasons. I was sick, first of all, so it was really annoying me that I wasn't going to be able to give it like fucking socks. You know? But that the fact that it was like really local as well, and I knew that, you know, if you're doing gigs local, it can be there's a lot more pressure. And then it was outside, and I knew conditions weren't going to be perfect. There was a lot of things that that I had dread about, but sometimes when you dread something and you get to it then, and it's not half as bad as you think, it ends up going, Jesus, this is grand.
It comes higher up.
Yeah, you're like
if you were,
this is grand. And the sound was good, and they couldn't have been nicer. They couldn't have been nicer people. They were so. I met a fella before the show who said he was in my class in Coleman's in first year, and I just could not remember him, and I was trying to remember him since. But he was talking about first year, and he knew who I was sitting beside, and goes, I'm a big fan of yours now, and do you know this fella, and do you know this fella, and you know, it was a good crowd there to see me, and it was really good now, really good. Anyway, finished, took Dan back to the train station, and I was like, all right, the day is done now, the week is done, I made it. Do you know, maybe Noel might want an old bag of chips. I'm going to go here to the Kentucky, and fucking deserve to get a Kentucky. And I went into the Kentucky, and I rang you, and I was like, do you want something from Kentucky? And you were like, no, what time are you home? I have a beer in my hand and my hair is straightened.
Beer in my hand, so I'm going out.
She was going out. So I had to get a Kentucky and come home here by myself, and drive this old doll over to the pub where she indulged in all sorts of activities. High off her face an oxy, of course. And I was here, and I watched the Sunday game here and had my pizza and chips. Bellissimo. And then you went to the pub. Tell us about the pub. Tell us about the second crack of the pub.
The other half of the Mothers and Others. Yeah. It is very much. I forgot that one of the teams had a few drinks between the two matches.
I saw that was the West Limerick team.
Yeah, after they played us. Yeah. And we all went, fuck it, that was the right idea. We only spotted it after we were about to go on and play. You should have totally done that. Yeah. That was the spirit of it, like. It's kind of like, because we're learning, we did. Yeah. A couple of them had a pint or two after we finished. Yeah. But we left because I was like, you do know now, like, when men are playing, they go off to drink for fucking weeks before championship, months before championship. Yeah. We're already talking about getting a bus to the next blitz. Drinking at half time. Yeah, you know, we're getting a bus to the next blitz, like.
It's fucking such a great initiative. I have to say, I love it. It fills my heart actually watching it go on, you know. But go on anyway. You went
So
out the
we
second night or the second time.
And I met somebody in the main bar, and she was like, I chatted to her for a minute, and she was like, oh, all the gang are out the back. And there must have been, I'd say 20, not necessarily all the same that were at the match. Maybe some people couldn't make it, or maybe even 25. But the majority of people that are involved in the WhatsApp group were there, like a good crew. Now some couldn't make it or whatever, but so chatting and just getting to know people, and there's something really refreshing about just being in your 40s and not really caring. Not caring is the wrong, but you're not really self-conscious. It's more not caring about yourself or your own, you know. And the people are where I seem
you're
very
accepting
open.
of how you are, like physically and mentally. You've had your kids, you're married, you're settled down.
Yeah, you're not
this
out
is who I am.
Yeah, you're not so much out to. You're not looking
Get your
around
hole.
for a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a bit like you're getting out there, meeting people, you're chatting with women. You know, like one of the lines before was, I don't know, on the pitch was a training. I don't know, is it piss or sweat? Like, do you know? Like, do you know, you're having this, and she ran on and ran away. Do you know, it's like, but you're just having this laugh with a gang of women, like, and our coach is having a hard time trying to keep us. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake, would you come over here? Come over here and do what you're told, like. But so then we obviously met in a new environment, which is everyone out. I mean, like, in the last time we went to the pub was the most we've ever known. For me, anyway, the most I've ever known a group of, like, randomly going to the pub here in Kilvullen. But like that was just quadrupled or whatever.
Yeah.
The last day going, because I do so many more, and even you get to know the husbands more from being at the match, like, or the partners or whatever.
Well, I was standing on the line now, and I was talking to, there was two husbands there, and like we were chatting and we were watching the game and we were commentating on the game.
Yeah.
And
there was other husbands that you wouldn't know, like you knew some of them, but you wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
some of
them
them
I
either.
know them all now as we go along.
Yeah,
Do you know,
yeah.
if you start to fucking win a few games. You know,
So then I was out till 12 o'clock. I was like Cinderella. I went home at 12, but no, it was really good, and to meet people and just to have the chats.
So
like,
can I just say, right, so we're coming up now to a year, right, where you've left your job a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually very close now to a year. We were only saying this earlier today.
Let's look at the dates. I can't really remember.
But
Still
even if it's a month out or a month beyond, you know, we're close enough to a year. So, like, and you were saying to me this morning, I thought, and I was like, don't say anything more now. Don't say any more about this. Just talk about this in the podcast because I think it's interesting. You were saying that, like, you know, that this is something that you wouldn't have been able to do.
Oh, no way.
And this wouldn't have happened at all.
No.
And like, just talk about that and talk about the changes that you've made, or the things that you've been able to do, we'll say. Not changes you've made, because I know that they're not, like, things that you're now able to do as a stay-at-home mom.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, that's what you are, a stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, you know, as a stay-at-home mom, as opposed to a full-time working mom.
Yeah, well, I suppose the only thing I'd say is it's from what I was doing versus what another.
Yeah, from your perspective.
So
from your perspective, like, obviously.
Because everybody, obviously not everyone in the mothers and others, it works from home. Like, there's a lot of people who are.
No, I'm talking about you.
Me.
I'm talking about your experience as a like, forget about other people now. I'm just talking about you.
Yes, yes.
Because I'll give a little snapshot of how you were last year before you left. From my perspective, you were stressed off your game.
Yes.
You were so stressed, honestly.
Yeah,
like, you were very stressed. You were quite ratty at times.
Sorry.
You know, you were drinking a lot.
Yeah.
You were probably eating unhealthily.
Oh, yeah.
And you had a load of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And I and we still had a laugh now. We still had, like, don't get me wrong now.
Yeah,
I'm not pointing out these aren't bad things.
Yeah,
These are like, I mean, I love you and you loved me then, and we loved each other and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But these were things that were in your life.
These were, I suppose,
From the outside in, as your partner looking in, I felt that you were working so hard. You were stressed, and stress was from work, like just from work.
Yes,
like.
yeah.
And then you had the guilt that because you were working so hard, that you were trying to fit so much into the boys at the weekend.
Yes, yeah.
But that was a snapshot of what you were like. Like how have things changed, for good or for bad? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I suppose because we decided to start the running and start moving more and all of that, like that was all part of our focus, because we were at home together here in January, and it was, you know, frosty out, but we still went out on a Monday, or, you know, we got the basis in that. Like, obviously gave me the fitness to even contemplate doing this. Plus, going to the school gate every day has given me, I know about it. You know, the girls are like, are you going to do it? Do you know, like,
even the fact that you're saying the girls.
Yes.
They weren't anything. They weren't girl. They were just moms of other children in our class.
Yeah.
Like, I knew all those girls from dropping Harvey up, but I didn't know them even half as well, like even a tiny bit as well as you did.
Yes.
And I've been doing the school run for years before you.
Yeah. I knew all this at the drop off, and I do some of the collections then. And like, so I would have been friendly with them at the collections, but I wouldn't know them as well as I'd know them now, like from doing the collections every day, and you're there a couple of minutes, and it's still only fleeting moments. So even the football training is even more getting to know people and meeting them now and then the night out or whatever. But it's having the time to do it, like, and putting that as something for me, like, you know, like you still kind of struggle to find time for yourself. Like, I mean, that's not, you're always still trying to do things. I mean, even me getting my hair done was because I had spent 2 weeks chauffeuring my mother to appointments and things, and I'm like, well, if I can do it for her, I can at least schedule in an appointment to get my own hair done. Like,
lovely hair, by the way.
Lovely hair, but you know what I mean. Like,
I know.
There's still loads to be done, and it's still.
That's one thing that I've noticed. I've noticed, and I've encouraged, is your self-care has gone way up. Do you know what I mean? Because you'd always put us first.
Yeah,
you'd always put the lads first, your job first, me first. Do you know, you never put yourself first. Not that you didn't want to know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you have the time to do that. You know, like running is for yourself, the training is for yourself.
Yeah. But I think that point is because you have to.
Yeah.
Because if I don't make a stand about doing the running, or make a stand about going to the training, then it will just fall off. Yeah. And I won't do it. You have to, but I still think up to Christmas I was very.
Oh, she didn't want to. It was
yeah, but I was very insular. Like, so the self-care wasn't coming into the myself wasn't coming in. I was still giving a load to the boys and to trying to do it all. Like, you know, trying to have the stuff ready for you or whatever, and we're still doing it all. It can still all be done.
I suppose it did take from leaving work as well. It did take kind of a 6 month kind of bedding in, you know, like, you know, just a bedding in process, you know, with the boys, and, you know, being around and just what have I to do with my time and stuff like that. And just now, I suppose since Christmas, and myself included, like, I've definitely increased my self-care as well. Yeah, you know, I've also been training with you since Christmas from a sedentary position. No, I couldn't train. Last week was the first week I couldn't train, and like the way I'm feeling now, I'm like, I don't think I've got to train for, you know, until I'm.
But I think the fact that the two of us are still training will make, like, you'll go back training because I'm way out. If it was only yourself, you might be off the wagon and not come back. But if I'm going training now tomorrow, if I'm going for a run tomorrow now, you're going to.
I absolutely will. Absolutely will. And I'm and like even today now when you came back with the shop, you were like, I didn't buy any shit now, and I was like, what? Why not? And you were like, no, because like we're fucking training hard, and And I was like, yeah. And then I said to you, and I'm actually probably still the same weight as I was at
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
And you were like, yeah, you are, like, and let's try and fucking get on top of that now. And it's not about weight now or anything like that. It was just like eating healthier, and the byproduct is, you know, fitting into those nice jeans or whatever the fuck it is, like, or a nice shirt or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. We just went off on a tangent there now. But
well, I suppose it's just rounding back on the year, and like, I suppose I still think, even though I think as a stay-at-home mother, it's very easy to like lose yourself. And I think since I started running, I'm now doing the complete opposite. So I think even when I left my job, I lost part of myself leaving work.
Yeah.
That's part of my identity. So, not that, but like I probably have said this before, but like there was an element of proud out that you're working really hard. Like, do you know, like you're working long hours. Jesus, that must be really tough. How'd you? And when that's gone, then you're kind of nearly justifying yourself.
Yeah.
And you're kind of trying to keep on trying to do it all and know it all or whatever. But then I don't know why, but it's all aligned with starting running and starting to feel a bit more empowered. That it's not about being off work or in work. It's just about myself and taking care of myself as a woman. I don't know why. I don't think I'm explaining myself kind of right here, but it's kind of just knowing that I need to do this, and for me to be a better person, which ultimately will be a better mom, better wife, better everything.
Yeah.
It's the...
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. Straight back to that usual.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about that
but
before,
it's true.
but it just comes back to it. And it comes back to yesterday, and that me putting myself out there, or not like, but me putting myself saying, I want to do Mothers and Others. Can we make it work? And like, you've changed around your nights you've changed around, worked around to let me go and do it on a Wednesday. But then our boys ended up having an amazing day yesterday, and it's going to come back. It's going to.
It's amazing, and it's great. It's great for you physically, mentally. It's great for the boys to see their mum being active.
Yeah.
You know, it's great for them even to be there and to be. I think GA culture is so great. I think GA communities across Ireland are amazing. They're a big, massive family. You know, like even the fact that when the game was over yesterday, that our friends that we didn't know before Harry went to school. You know, you're playing with with that mum now as well, and they took the two boys yesterday, and like that was a huge deal for us. That was a huge deal for us, and that all came from Mothers and Others, which all came from GA, which all came from the lads, like bringing Harvey to GA.
But I think the point I'm trying to make is it came from me saying it came from us saying, or you saying to me in January, we need to let's start running. Let's start prioritizing our health, ourselves. Like, I go back to when it was my friend's birthday and I was too overwhelmed kind of to go before Christmas. Like, do you know, and because it's just like, oh, it's another thing. I just don't have capacity for it now. And like, and then I felt really bad for not going, even though I told her exactly
the truth
of why I didn't go, and she totally understood. But it was part of that was like the wake up call to, right, we need to sort something out here. And like, you can make it happen. Like, we made a load of stuff happen yesterday. Do you know, like, we still did that, went to the gig. Yeah. I went out for my few drinks earlier, then you went to your gig, then I went back out. Like, you could...
I think, and this is the one thing that I've noticed since we've been training, is we have the energy to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely. Yeah. Like, you know, with even yesterday, like, you know, like coughing and spluttering, I'm like out of breath easily, I have a sore throat, I have a temperature. But myself and Hunt, like, I was running around the place after the lads, like literally running, like, you know, Harvey went into an area that he wasn't supposed to go. Myself and Hunter ran hand in hand with him. And for about maybe, I don't know, for maybe about 4 minutes or something like that, you know, which is not a long time of running. But like this time last year, I wouldn't have been able to do that, you know.
Yeah,
If I did, I'd be sweaty.
Not to mind with a chest infection.
Not to mind with a chest infection. Just able to do stuff, having the energy to do stuff. It's been great. Look, we've waffled on here now for ages, so we're going to go away from me.
Yeah.
Basically.
We've had a pensive Monday evening. Discussions, thoughts.
Chit-chat. Chitty-chat.
As we set off on a new week.
I would say this, actually. If you're listening to this podcast and you'd like to be sound, and if you're feeling generous, give us an old like on Spotify, I think. Give us
iTunes, isn't it?
iTunes, or give us a review. A review is great. Reviews are great. They really actually help. Really help with the algorithms getting the podcast out there. And that's a free thing to do. Do you know what I mean? So if you're feeling sound and you want to do that, go on to iTunes.
The podcast.
And if you enjoy the podcast, obviously, like if you do not enjoy the podcast,
if you don't like it, stop listening. Stay listening, but just don't leave a review.
And also, this is another thing that someone said to me recently, and it's the best way to get people listening to the podcast, is if you're enjoying this podcast, refer it to a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Just go, do you know what's a great podcast? Conversations with Cornelius.
Rolls off the tongue.
You know, it's just, all right. And that's a nice way of helping us out here. We're not giving up. We're driving it on. We're going to the bitter end. We'll be doing podcasts until one of us is dead.
Oh, Jesus.
Be like this, right? Well, no, but you see, if you die before me, this podcast is over. Because I can't do any of this shit.
You die before me. Oh, yeah.
But if I die...
Well, you could do the rate. Oh, you wouldn't be able to upload it.
Yeah, well, maybe the boys might be good enough at that stage to help me.
Yeah. God, you'd have to do one final one. That might make the podcast blow up. Be like the Notebook.
Well, how would I do one final one if I'm dead?
No, if one of us is dead, like.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the other one would do one last final one.
Well, you can continue it on. Conversations with Cornelia. You'd have to change your name to Cornelia.
Okay, let's go on that note.
Anyway, go on. Listen, we didn't dial it in. Did we?
Let's dial it in.
Or you just kind of went. We just did that there.
Oh, no, I enjoyed that combo.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, let's say goodbye now.
Shtay by the Good night. Irene, good night, Irene.